All right. Welcome to another Leadership in Fire Live. We're happy to have everybody here, and we're going to be sitting here chilling, discussing some different topics. We've got our special guest, Allison, here. She's going to be hanging out with us, and we've got some big news and some things that are coming up really soon that we're super excited about. And I hope that anybody who joins in gets to have a little bit of fun with us. Got anything you want to open with?
Excited to be here today. Yeah, nothing much to say right now, I guess. Just excited.
Loser.
Yeah, you got me.
But we can't go into any details because I want to keep it hidden who the first couple guests that we have lined up. Um, but definitely going to be interesting when I finally release those. You know, it's going to tie together the Leadership and Fire channel, I believe, and what we are about here. I definitely believe that leadership comes from multiple pathways. It's not just a work thing. It's not just you clock in at your job and you're a leader.
You don't
Eh,
clock out and leave that leadership
right,
at work.
right. I think you take that, wherever you go, into whatever you're doing when you're at your home, when you're going to Walmart, whatever the case looks like. I think you're always a leader. So, when I bring these individuals on and we speak about leadership, it's going to be in a multitude of different avenues that we're going to be going down and speaking about. So, but I don't want to give you any details, but next Saturday at 6 p.m., the first podcast that I've ever hosted in my entire life will be live, and the guest is pretty well known. What's he got over? His TikTok's got 4 million. He's got to have around
Good check.
6 million or so, 6 million followers.
He's got a lot of followers.
Yeah, he's got a lot of followers. He'll be on. He's a pretty good buddy of mine. He helped me get started in social media and kind of get me going. Get me fired up and get me rolling in it. So he'll be on next Saturday. His episode's already done. But it'll be out next Saturday, and then coming up after that, we'll have another pretty high level individual on the channel as well, and then I've got other people we're gonna line up too, just to get this thing fired off. And I want to tell those guys if they're watching or if they're going to watch this, I appreciate you guys for coming on. I appreciate you at least giving me the time out of your day to come on and help me get this company fired up. And also a couple other announcements is I have reached out to multiple big podcasts to get on there and start trying to speak about. I've gotten a couple replies, but the other ones not so much. But I have reached out, and we are looking to get on a couple podcasts to bring up the issues that I am seeing as far as how leadership is going right now in these corporations. I think, and this is going to be controversial, but I think that leadership in companies right now have a much bigger issue than you would believe, and I want to explain why. So, a knowledge transfer, and a knowledge transfer being one individual transferring the knowledge to another individual. Right now, that knowledge transfer percentage, based on what the studies have included, is that about 20% of the knowledge is getting transferred to the newer leadership coming into roles in corporations right now. 20%. So if you add that up, right? So the study has, of course, the knowledge transfer has went down over the years, but if you try to add that up over the years, how much the leadership in companies is getting destroyed because people are gatekeeping the knowledge that got them into positions that they're in, that's a huge issue. And where that becomes a problem is if, okay, let's say you go to Walmart and you check out and an item, you paid too much for an item or something like that. Just use it as an example. And then you go to try to get your money back. How many people do you have to go through to get your money back? And that's kind of the issue that, I'm seeing. JMac Gaming. Is that Cody? I don't know. Cody, if that's you, what's up, dude? And the issue that I'm seeing here is if you're only transferring 20% of the knowledge downward or to your peers that if you're experienced in the game, I mean, you're killing the workforce. You're killing them. You're killing them. You're asking them to do things that they're not even ready to do because you're setting their gatekeeping, or you're holding on to this information that for whatever reason to keep yourself protected for whatever reason. What's up, Cody? And that's the issue that I'm working on trying to. I've got 2 podcasts right now that have reached out. I don't want to say their names yet because I want to keep everything. I know I'm speaking about gatekeeping, and here I am gatekeeping. I know, kind of hypocritical, but the reason I'm doing that is because nothing's ever for sure. And I don't want to lead anybody on, right? But we are going to get on to something. I'll tell you that right now. We're going to get on to something, and we're going to speak about it. We're going to bring it up, and we're just going to start tearing this down brick by brick because the previous corporation that I worked for, no name, I'm not going to name that, but, I'm sure most people understand. You just look me up on LinkedIn, you'll figure it out. Gatekeeping was the thing that killed that place. I mean, it killed it because everybody wants to be comfortable in their little spot, and they don't want anybody else challenging them or their ideas, so they gatekeep everything. And that's what's going to kill them in the long run. That's what's going to kill them. But anyway, I think I'm ranting. Am I ranting?
No.
I believe I'm ranting right now. But anyway, next Saturday at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, tune into the channel. We've got some interesting people that are going to be coming on. We got our first guest coming on, and it's going to be really fun, honestly. It was a really fun interview to do. And most people that's on TikTok, if you're on TikTok, you're going to know who this is. You're going to know him because I can't tell anybody. I can't say you.
It's like such a good surprise.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know who he is when you see him. But it was a great interview. I will say that I was late to my own podcast. I'll say that. I was late.
Oh, you should give a hint why.
Well, he's 12 hours behind. Yeah. No, he's 12 hours ahead. He's 12 hours ahead of us. So when I scheduled him and told...
12 hours?
He's 12. Yeah, 12. Yeah, because I scheduled him at Friday night at 10 p.m. No, at 10 p.m. Okay. I scheduled him at Friday at 10 p.m. Well, me and Allison come out on Thursday because we're prepping. We're running through the camera angles. We're running through kind of the questions I'm asking, making sure that I'm ready. It's my first one ever, so I'm trying to practice it and get ready for it. And he hit me up and he's like, "Dang, man, sorry. The kids were doing this, that, or the other, and I'm sorry I'm late." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" He said, "It's tonight, right?" And I'm like, "I thought it was tomorrow night." Yeah. Well, it turns out that where he's 12 hours ahead, that Friday at 10 a.m., is for him was our Thursday at 10 a.m. So I ended up having to I told Al I just threw a different shirt on and put the mic on and we just hammered through the thing, and it was about an hour long, and it's going to be great though. Next Saturday, 6 p.m. I'm gonna release one teaser on Thursday of who it is, and then after the episode releases out, I'm going to drop another teaser on who the second guest that I have lined up is, and you guys check that out. That will be on probably around Monday or Tuesday. I'll drop the second teaser for the second guest. So he's working through some things. We're going to get him lined up. But the first guest ever on the show, Saturday, 6 p.m. and I'm going to turn it over to you because you're the guest, probably the best guest I'm ever going to have on the show. I mean, we've got 80 subscribers right now. We can't be any bigger than we've ever been. We get like 12 views per video. We're giant. I don't know how. I mean, we're peaked. We're peaked.
How to get beyond?
I don't know. I don't think we can. I think we're at the max right now. But
No.
is there something you would like to add to that?
No, I'm just like so excited about this guest that I like keep saying the name in my head, and I'm just like, well, I can't say anything. So just excited for next Saturday for the
Well,
drama.
you were involved in some of the build up, if you remember.
What do you mean?
When I was building the TikTok.
Oh,
yeah,
your relationship with this person.
Yeah. You were kind of in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And Cody, hey, you know what? We talked about you last time. You should be on the show because we had some good times, we had some bad times, we had some disagreements. It would be great to have you on and discuss, kind of the good and bad. That's what all this is about, right? Is leadership isn't about being perfect, and leadership isn't about being the best person that's ever led another human being. Leadership is about understanding where you made mistakes and how it affected the other person. You should be on the show for sure because we had some good times, we had some bad times, right? I mean, that's the name of the game, right? And I'm totally aware of that. And it would be great to have, at the end of the day, I didn't have a problem with you at all. So you should definitely be on the show, I mean, we had disagreements, but everybody has disagreements. So it would be great to have you on. And I'm definitely going to bring some other cats on that have worked for me. Dan Bransell, are you out there? Dan? We need to bring old little Dan on here, huh? Little Dan. Bring Dan in from old Cleveland, huh? Bring Dan on. Where's Big Dan at? I need to get Big Dan out here, too.
Oh, my gosh. Like, name
Huh? Yeah, name him. Dan Ganzorn. Where you at, Dan? But, no, and all you guys that are on here right now, all four of you, I appreciate all four of you. All four of you, I appreciate you. And the reason that we're doing this, because it makes us look like fools. Early on in the stage of social media, it makes you look like a moron when you're on here and you're putting these videos out and you're promoting them across all the platforms. It's like you look like an idiot because you're talking about something and nobody watches, so you look like a moron, and that sucks. But later on down the line, things start to add up. Things start to get better. You get more views, you get more of this, you get more of that. But anybody that watches this that has ever worked for me is going to understand one thing about me. I talk a lot of crap. I talk too much, honestly. I probably do it too much. I shouldn't do it that much. But I really do care about you trying to build yourself up. I really do care. And if it did come across that way, I apologize. But that's what this channel is about, is 90% of these people that are leading other people do not care about the development. I'm not talking about wanting to get promoted. The development of the people. They don't care about them. They don't really look into it that deep. And that's what we're going to shoot for. The liquor might be talking now.
You're yapping.
I'm sorry, guys. We're having some drinks. We're having a good time. Look, this is a live. What these lives are built for is for you guys to get to know me. If you already know me or you think you don't know me, you can always ask questions and I will give you my honest opinion and answer on anything that you ask me, or Allison as well. I tried to get Allison to start her own episodes that drop during the week, because I wanted to integrate motherhood into this, because it's not only the male and it's not only the fathers that in the households that lead these places, it's the mothers as well. They do so much. She didn't want to do it, but we're gonna get her on. We're gonna fix that.
I will say, I'm not like opposed to it, but I'm more than just a mother, and I don't really want like a whole segment dedicated to me just talking about that, because I feel like it's not. I mean, it's definitely important, major role, but it's just not something I want to do. It's just not me. I'm more than that.
It is it and I'm not saying she's just a mother. I'm saying, when I was at the company I was at previously, I was gone all the time, and she did a great job. Now we have 2 kids. She's still doing a great job. I mean, other mothers out there might relate, and she doesn't have to talk about motherhood. I don't know. I think everybody should hit her up and tell her that she should just do one episode, about 7 minutes a week, and let's bring the female side of this into this as well, because females are very important. Cody said, "You know what, bro? I appreciate that for sure. I do. I appreciate it because I don't know how to word this. I always thought pretty highly of you. To be honest with you, I thought pretty highly of you. I thought you had some small little things that you had going on, but you were an A1 to me, and I hate that things ended the way that they did. But at the end of the day, people move on, and I accept that. But I've kept track of you. How's Florida? How's Florida going, buddy? Yeah, I've kept track of you. I always try to keep track of the individuals that that I've came across in my time, and I keep track of what's going on just to make sure that you're doing all right. And if you're not doing all right, I try to hit you up. But I do appreciate that. Thank you, and it means a lot to me because that's what I'm in this game for, is impact. I'm not in this game for anything other than impact. So if I made a little bit of impact, I'm grateful for that, and I hope that everything's going well in your life as well. Do you want to get to your questions now?
I don't really have questions, to be honest. It's
just statements.
Just conversation.
Well,
I'm definitely not the type of person that's just gonna hammer you with questions. But I did want to discuss.
Put me on the spot. You got to put me on the spot.
I mean, I guess I do have questions, but they're not question after question.
Okay.
But so this is something that was brought up at my work probably a couple months ago, and it's something that interests me because I'm big on astrology and certain parts of sociology, psychology. So I don't know, it kind of made me dig into it a little bit deeper. And wait, hold on.
No, don't read it on there, man. Hey, let him do his thing, man.
But basically, what was brought up was birth order. And it intrigued me to see if it tied into leadership because Blake knows everything on leadership. He's been in it for a decade.
Don't say everything.
I mean, you've been in it for a decade.
I've been in it for a long time.
You've been in it. So, So I was curious to see, does birth order affect anything regarding leadership?
As far as traits, the traits.
Yeah. So, it could be the oldest, only child, middle child, youngest. Is there more, you know what I mean? Is one of them more capable of going into leadership? Are they more fitting? Is it more natural? Do you think that birth order may have an impact on somebody's pathway and whether or not it would make them a good leader?
So that's your question?
Yeah.
Are you bringing that up because I was an only child for 10 years before I had my first sibling?
Well, let me say this. I don't think I brought it up for that reason, but that may have impacted you to go into leadership because you were an only child for 10 years.
Okay.
And then a sibling was welcomed, and maybe you felt like you had to step up and you had to teach your siblings certain things and play a role in their life. And maybe that led you down the road to go into leadership, or maybe not. I don't know.
Okay. Well, first off, I want to address the comment that you left for me there, Cody. I knew more than I was telling you. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I knew more than I was telling you, and I did not want to hurt your feelings. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. I knew a lot more than I was telling you. I think I know what you're referencing there. But anyway, we'll move on. Do I think the birth order affects the leadership? I can only say things from my perspective. And my perspective being I was a only child for 10 years before I had my sister. Well, I didn't have her, but before my parents had my sister. Um, and here's what I'll tell you about that. At a early age, I always cared too much about what my parents were going through. So I can tell you that I could always tell if my parents were struggling financially. I could always tell if something was bothering my parents. And if my mom or dad are watching this, I apologize in advance. But I could always tell, but they would never tell me. Okay, so I would have to almost, and I don't want to use this word, but I would say I would almost have to manipulate them a little bit to kind of tell me what was going on. I don't want to say manipulate, but I'd almost have to steer a conversation into them just telling me what was going on. And that's what really kicked off it. I don't want to say it built passion for leadership, but I will say that I got really good at reading their body language, reading the way that they speak, the tone of their voice, the way that they move. And because they would never tell me, they wouldn't say like, oh, I'm really upset about this, or I'm financially, we're here. They wouldn't tell me. And I don't think that's bad of them, but I do think like I was already catching on to it. And when my sister came, I don't want to say that I really gained any passion for leadership, really. I mean, I had my cousins, and I was, kind of that person that was kind of I was responsible, kind of, but I didn't really feel it then. But I will say, right when I turned 18 and I got put in one of those leadership roles that I was not ready for, all those skills started coming up where I'm like, I got to read this person. Are they upset? Are they mad? Are they this? Are they that? How can I dissect them? And then once I dissect what they're going through, and then I start moving forward, push it. I would say that no, it didn't give me any. It didn't drive any passion, but I would say that the skill sets that I gained along the way as an only child for so long definitely helped me along the way. Does that answer? Does that work?
I think so, yeah, because I believe, like, after researching it, I believe that it doesn't really determine whether or not you're going to be like a leader or determine what you go into, but the skills that you gain from it
Yeah.
may, affect
Yeah.
how you lead. Like, I was looking into it, and there's different types of leadership. So like there's like commanding leadership, there's relationship oriented, more like authoritative. So it like just depending on like what skills you got, and not even just like the birth order, but just like how your family was oriented to. That could also affect it. But the birth order, like it's, if we look at like stereotypes, the oldest sibling, your parents were the toughest on you. You were
Yes.
the firstborn, so you got the most
Yes.
attention.
I wouldn't say attention.
Well, until the other ones came along. And then when the other siblings are born, you may be the leader to them, the ones that they look up to, the ones that, they come to you and they're like, what are we going to do? Like,
Right.
what are we playing today? And then, like, middle child, they're kind of like stereotypically, they're the ones that are forgotten about. Um, so maybe they play like the middleman, or like, if you have more than, one other sibling, if you're the middle child, you have an older sibling, younger sibling, maybe a couple younger siblings, maybe a couple older siblings, depending on whatever that dynamic is, you may be forgotten about, or you're just like the middleman negotiating, just like trying to keep the peace. And then the youngest sibling, the ones that are just
The babies.
the babies. They can do no wrong. They get away with everything. So I feel like all of those things that we were describing, they affect how you are when you grow up. Like if you're a baby your whole life because you're the youngest, when you grow up, I mean, would that affect your leadership style? I definitely think so.
Yeah, can I touch on that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I don't want to say it's the youngest child's only, but I do want to say over time what I've noticed about younger, I don't want to say even younger, man. It kind of stretches out, but what I've noticed is you can always tell someone that has been babied. And what does babied mean? I'm going to give my explanation about what being babied means, and then you can go into it. So
Okay.
being babied to me is not that the person can do no wrong, but no matter what, the person is defending them regardless. Meaning saying, "Oh no, this person is just this or that," and it's like, no, that's a problem. That person shouldn't speak that way. That person shouldn't be this way. There's no excuse for that. And here's what I'll tell you. And if Cody's still in here, I would think that he would jump in. I've told him a ton. I probably told him too much about the way that I dissect and read people. When I am reading an individual and I'm putting them through the test, so the test being, I'll say something just to see how you're going to react to it. And the way you react is how I judge certain aspects of your personality or character. Any individual that was babied, and I'm going to put quotes there because some people think that babied is different. I notice one thing. Where does somebody that's been babied their whole life go as soon as they get this much pressure applied? Where do they go to? Where do you think the first initial emotional reaction is to someone that has been defended, their whole life defended? No, nobody's told them that that's a problem. Where do you think they go to first?
At work or in their
Anywhere,
life?
anywhere. What's the first emotional reaction?
I feel like they go to the person that babied them.
No. In the conversation, where do they go? Like emotionally, if I come up to someone that's been babied and I go, you may actually have a social problem. Where do you think they go initially? What's the first thing that they in their mind, and then when they speak it, where do they go?
I don't know, victim mentality.
Victim mentality. Victim. They're a victim now. And the reason I'm saying that so passionately is because the victim mentality, meaning, oh, you're coming at me. Oh, you're saying something that I don't agree with. That is the problem, folks. That's the issue that we're dealing with, is because all I said was, hey, you may have a social issue. That's why your people aren't following you. And now you're like, oh, hey, what are you saying? You're being rude. You're being this. It's not that I'm being rude. It's that I'm saying something that somebody in your life never told you. And now you're 25 years old. You're trying to get into a management position, and you're struggling to get people to follow you. Well, you can't get people to follow you if nobody's told you your whole life you can't speak to people. You can't speak to people. Guys, that's where it starts. But I'll let you go. What your thoughts?
My thoughts. To be honest, you kind of like went on a little tangent there. I don't even remember if I brought up like only childs too. They tie in with the oldest child for sure. I don't know. I'm really like passionate about like all things like I said, psychology, sociology, and I think this is like such an interesting take that maybe the oldest child, more of them are in leadership positions just because of the skills that they gained having younger siblings and just how they went through their childhood. But like I said, all of those skills that you gain can lead to different leadership. Like different leadership, like how you lead people. Right. Like, how do you think you lead people? Are you more like buddy, like kind of lead? Are you more like commanding, where you're just like, you do this and you don't like start a personal relationship? Right. Are you more just like, hey, they don't want to do this, but they need to do this? Like, hey, how can we meet in the middle? Like, how do you think your leadership style is now that you've been in it for a decade? How do you think that you've adapted to being in leadership, and do you think you've changed how you lead people?
100%. Yes.
So
Yes.
where did you start,
Yeah.
and where have you ended up?
I definitely started at the command. I would command. That's the way I started. I would be like, "You're gonna do this because I'm the boss. I'm the guy that's in charge here." When I was 18, 19, that's how I started. If you want me to be honest, I'd be like, "No, I work to get this management position." You know. But now I wouldn't even say now. I would say right when I was about 21, 21, I was in Cleveland still. Everything changed. I would build a relationship so deep with my individuals that I wanted to be with me. I would build a relationship that it wasn't even allowed by the corporation. And I will say that the corporations that I worked for would fire me if they knew that I was doing what I was doing. Meaning, like, hanging out with these people outside of work, fraternizing, whatever with that. I wanted a relationship with you. I didn't want to just be your boss. I wanted to be your friend.
Get to know you.
I wanted to know you. I wanted to know every aspect about you. I wanted to know your kids' names, your wife's names, your boyfriend's name, whatever. Girl, boy, I didn't care what was going on. I wanted to know you. And I wanted to know you so deep that I could read every aspect of you. So if I knew that you were screwed up or I knew something was wrong, I could read it and then we could get to the bottom of it. And do you know which one worked the best? The command oriented leadership or the relationship oriented leadership. Which one do you think worked the best?
I'm gonna take a wild guess here, and I'm gonna say the relationship.
Yes, exactly. So when I started building relationships with my people and I was genuine, I really felt caringness towards you. I wanted you.
That's crazy. People were receptive to
yes.
actually caring about
yes,
them?
yes.
Wow.
Yes, they were. And that's when everything changed. Now, I want to go into this as well. And you're going to agree with me. You can almost take that too far from a relationship-based leadership. You can take it too far. You can almost be so close with somebody that it hurts their development more than it helps. How do I know that, Allison? How do I know that?
Probably because you've been in it. But that was one of my questions though. How do you know how far to take it without making that boundary so far crossed that it can't come back from?
Yep. Okay. Fraternizing is bullshit, and pardon my French. Fraternizing that should have never been a corporate rule. It's broken all the time anyway. Hanging out with your people outside of work is not a bad thing, people. All right? It's not. It's what you should do. You're leading human beings. You, as their boss, hold their future in your hands. Your hands. So you should get to know them. You should know every aspect of them. Why shouldn't you? When do you know that you've taken it too far? Is when you yourself as the leader are struggling to tell them things that they need to hear. The second that your mind starts to play tricks on you saying, I don't want to tell them this because I don't want to see them upset. And it happens. And I know that because I've been there. When you start to feel inside of your heart, I can't tell them because I don't want to see them upset. You've gone too far. You've taken it too far. And that's the facts. You've taken it too far at that point. The second you can't tell them the truth, no matter what the truth is, you've gone too far. And you've got to back that relationship down. Meaning you're about to upset them because you're going to mag dump everything that you've been building up all this time on them at once. That's your fault as a leader that you did that, but it's a part of development and it's a part of what we go through as leaders, that when you take it too far, you have to admit that you took it too far. And that's not a problem. That's not an issue. That's evolution. That's you evolving.
Let me pause you.
Go ahead.
So you said that that's a problem. How do you take it a couple steps back without offending them?
Yeah.
And making that relationship broken where it can't even be mended.
Okay, great. That you're asking great questions, and anybody that's watching, I want you to know that she's the goat of this conversation.
Thanks.
But okay. Wait, what was your question?
So, like you said before,
yeah.
When you take that relationship too far,
yep,
you have to take it a couple steps back. How do you do that?
Yep.
Keep that relationship where you don't offend them.
Yep.
How do you do that?
Impossible.
Nice.
It's impossible.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that it's like once you go too far, it's impossible not to offend them. Now, here's what I did. Because I've taken it too far many times.
Yeah. And what do you mean by too far?
I've just gotten too close. I've gotten way too close.
What does too close mean?
Too close is to the point where I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them.
So it's not like you know them too well, hanging out.
No, it's more so like I'm so close with them. I don't want them to hurt. And at the end of it, it just ends in hurt. Because you have to offend them, because once you get so close that you stop saying the things that are going to hurt them, what happens? Your boss comes down on you and you bottle it up. You say, I'm not telling them that. I'm not saying that to them. It's going to hurt them. You bottle it up. 2, 3, 4, 5 times go by. And then you are like, damn, I have to tell them. It's not an option. I have to tell them that this is going on. And then you pull them into a room and then you say, A, B, and C are happening and this is causing a problem. And the first thing that they ask you is, why haven't you told me this before? It's the first thing every time. Why didn't you tell me this? And you know what? As the leader, I should have told you the whole time. I just didn't want to hurt your feelings. And that's how you know it went too far. I'm telling you, that's the number one sign that you know that you took it too far. When you start bottling up stuff that's coming down on you and you won't tell them, you've taken it too far. And you owe the person that you're trying to work with, you owe them. Yeah, yes, exactly. Mitigating, yes, you're
It sounds like somebody has experience.
Yeah. Cody probably does. I definitely, Cody probably does. And you know what? Anybody that FedEx that might watch this in the future is upset.
We just name dropped.
Anybody, bleep that out. Bleep that out. Anybody around the corporation? Damn, man. Okay, we're gonna get hurt for that one. But anybody around that area there, might get upset about that. But yes, I was very close with that individual, and you know what? Oh well. Because I wanted people that were fired up and wanted to be better at their job, and he was there. So, I can't believe I just said that.
I know. And we're on live too. That's crazy. But like you said, you could find that information online at LinkedIn.
Yeah.
That's not a secret, people.
Definitely public.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yikes. Yeah, so I think that didn't fully answer my question, so I'm gonna go back to it.
Go.
So you started out in command, you ended up at relationship, you're at a new company now. What kind of leadership style have you adapted being in a whole different field?
Yep.
With a whole different age group
yep.
and a different position. Like you just learned the whole field, like it's completely new to you. So how did you walk in there, learn everything new, and adapt to that?
I knew going into it that I had to be humble because I didn't understand that company.
And wait, pause.
Okay.
And I think this is good for people that are going into a new job. Maybe you've accepted a leadership position in something that you have never done before.
Yeah.
And even at my own company, they hire leaders in departments that they've never worked the basic role that they're overseeing, and they have to train them on the whole position. So this isn't just like your experience. This could
Yep.
be anybody's experience. Like you get hired on something that you don't know about.
Right.
So back to what you were saying, not to interrupt you, but I think this is like very helpful information
Right.
for anybody.
Indeed, it is. So I knew going into the new company that I didn't know the company. I knew how to manage people, but I didn't know the company. So when I went into it, I knew I had to be humble. And I know I have a work ethic, so I had to work hard. And I knew I could work hard, and I knew I could get the people, I could get the people with me. I just had to work hard. So when I went into it, I just said, you know what, guys, I don't know what you guys are doing. And that's what I said. I said, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? Teach me everything. I'm dumb. I'm the boss. Quotes, the boss. But that doesn't mean I'm God. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean I'm like, oh, everything has to go through me. It means I just got this job and I'm dumb, so teach me. And that's the way I went about it. And anybody that you know that is working where I'm currently at, I just started building relationships with them and being truly me. That's what I did. I was truly me. I'm dumb. I don't know how this company runs. I don't know what's going
I
on.
mean, slow down here. You're not dumb. You just weren't informed on how they handle things.
Right,
So, like,
right.
let's take a couple steps back, tone it down.
Yeah.
We're not dumb. We just didn't know.
Okay.
And, like, that's, I mean,
Personally,
that's relatable. I mean, you don't know.
I wasn't dumb, but dumb to the procedures of the company.
Yeah, but you were open minded.
Yes.
And you took in that information, you learned it. But from there, do you think that you came in a little bit shy leadership wise, and then you've opened up since you've been there for what, almost 2 years now?
No, I wouldn't say I came in shy. I came in the way that I should have came in. I will say that. And if anybody that works there now, they should be super proud of what we've done. We took a business in that area that was running. God, should I give them numbers? I'll give them numbers. Yeah, let's give them numbers. Let's give them numbers. So when I got there, the building itself was running about $2 million a month ish, $2 million a month. And right now, baby, we make about $5.5 million a month. $5.5 million. So we're up about $3.5 million a month based on how the company has ran in that area over the past 10, 15 years. How do we do that? Well, I went in humble. I went in as me. I didn't know. I didn't know how the company ran. The people had to teach me, show me, be open. I'm making mistakes. That's the truth. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here and I'm willing to learn from everybody that's been here. I'm not better than them. I'm not better than anybody. I'm not better than the lowest level janitor. I'm not better than anybody. I might be, the guy that's the face of the facility, but that doesn't mean I'm better than anybody. That means that I got a position that is the face of the facility, and I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to the procedures of the facility and the company and the way that they do things. And the way that I overcame that was I just said, I don't know how you do things here. I know how I did things at the previous company, in which I guess I've already named. Damn it.
Whatever. Don't matter. But, you're just basically, summing up what you're saying is go in humble, be open minded,
Yeah.
the acceptance of like, this is all new to me. These people have been here. I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to take it on. And how have you applied that? Like, do you think that's changed you as a leader where you're like, okay, like, have you formed a relationship with these people like you did at your previous company? Do you have like a different style of leadership that you've gone into now? Do you think?
Different? No. No, I wouldn't say different. I would say
maybe a toned down version of what you had before? 'Cause you're
Yeah,
still building
yeah.
relationships, but not
I'm
to the extent that you had before.
I'm definitely not as intense as I used to be. I'll say that. I'm not as intensely fired up as I used to be. I'm more so just I really want everybody that works at that place to get what they deserve to get. That's kind of like it's really weird how it's worked. It's like it's more I'm so built into the servant side of my leadership now where I'm like, "You know what, man? These guys deserve this whether parts of me in the past agreed with that or not. I just think that that's the way that it is now. That I've kind of formed how leadership I think should be more so like it's not about me. You know, it's never really been about me. It's like as a leader in any realm, it's just about the guys that you have or the girls or whatever. Like it's about them and I would say that the place that I'm at now has only amplified that feeling that, you know what, it doesn't matter about me. It matters about the team and everybody a part of it and how can I help them and how can I get what they deserve to have. And I would say that I guess if you ask me if I changed, yes, because I always felt that the team should win, but I think I always had an aspect in there that was thinking about me. Um, but now it's more so how can I better everybody and not care about me and what happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's amplified now more than ever before. And, you know, I don't even want to say I'm teaching or coaching anybody into anything different. I would say just giving them the facts. Like we turned a facility into a $2 million a month operation into a $5.5 million operation.
That is insane.
That's the
That is
facts.
such a big growth.
That's the facts.
And I don't say that just because, we're together, but that's seriously such an insane growth. And we're not going to go into details on the company that you work for, but to them, is that like crazy growth or is that normal?
Right.
Like, I mean, that's saying something about your leadership, in my opinion. I may be biased, but in my opinion, that says something about how you were leading these people, inspiring them. And I guess I want to touch on just, the previous position. I feel like you were more coaching and
Yep.
relationship,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
developing relationships. But now I feel like you want to lead these people to success. You want to have meet the end goal, your end goal, not the company's end goal, but you set goals for yourself and for your people, and you want to lead them there. And that is such a good leadership ability for you to do that. And I guess, like, what would you say for somebody going into leadership? What advice could you give on leadership styles? Somebody who's never led before, where you don't want them to go in and get ran over by people.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So what would you say?
I would say that leadership, it's the way that I end every single video I post. Leadership is just a title, guys. It's just something that you get. It doesn't mean that you're leading anybody. It means you got a position that has management next to your name, but it doesn't mean you're leading anybody. Like leadership is a responsibility. It's a feeling that you have that you should do better for the people that are working for you or you're leading. And I would say that am I inspiring people at the place that I'm at now? I wouldn't say I'm inspiring them. I would say more so I'm just uncovering aspects and um I just truly want them to be where they should be. And that's the facts. That's just the facts. And when I was at the previous corporation that I've already mentioned, Just look me up on LinkedIn, everybody, if you want to know where I was at. Um, it's more so when I was there, I was dealing with younger folks, younger kids, younger this, younger that, or whatever. Not even younger, but just people that environment was very intense, and I had to be a coach. I had to be somebody. I knew the business. I knew how it worked. So of course I took on a coaching role there because all of the little rat holes that go through that company to get to certain places, I had to coach people how not to fall into those deep, dark holes from which they would never get out of. At the company that I'm at now, I don't have to coach how to get into that. Most of them already know it. The idea is to show them how to get, how to leverage the points in which we're leveraging. And I don't want to go any further into that because I'm going to get in trouble already. I'm already in trouble. Anybody that knows me, I'm already in trouble. You know what I mean? Because I pick holes and stuff, and sometimes when you pick holes and stuff too much, you find yourself in a in a hole. But that's the life that I live, man. I've always cared more about the people that work for me than I did anything else, and it's found me in a lot of weird positions. I don't even want to say good positions. It's found myself in a lot of bad positions. But caring about your people and caring about their well-being could never, ever, ever be the wrong answer. Ever.
I love that. Thank you. I think that answered all my questions. And we are actually only 8 minutes away from the end of our life today, which is crazy. I feel like it's really flown by. We got to dig on, different topics of who your special guest is for your podcast that drops next Saturday. Birth order, how it affects you in your leadership. And then we dug in a little bit about your leadership, where you started, where you've ended, and then how you've taken that from your previous position that you worked in for almost a decade into your new position. So
it was a decade
at the previous.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was a decade.
So much experience at one position. So much knowledge. And we've already name dropped it, but I'm not going to name drop it because I don't want them to come after me. Because I also did work for them for a short stint. But
can we tell? We got to tell.
No, no, back to me. We don't have to tell any stories about that. But that company had so many people run through it. So for you to have a decade of experience leading people there, I will say that company, they are very loose on their hiring. They see people from all different kinds of life, all different walks of life. So for you to discover your leadership there, I feel like it really has impacted you as a leader, where you've been adapting to all those different types of people, how to coach them, how to lead them to where you are now. So I feel like you have an abundance of experience in leadership, and anybody who is wanting to know more about leadership, going into leadership, maybe is in leadership and they just want different opinions on how to be better, how to do something differently, he is the man to go to because he has seen it all. He's seen all different kinds of people. And to lead different kinds of people, that makes your experience like insane, like massive. Like you've dealt with so many different people. And I think people make you the leader that you are. You don't become a leader from you just reading self-help books or watching stuff like this.
No.
But the experience of dealing with different types of people, different walks of life, that is how you develop yourself as a leader. And I feel like you have gone through that for so long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coming from a small town in West Virginia to the big city of Cleveland and trying to figure out who I was.
Of Cleveland. Everybody thinks you work in like downtown Cleveland. No, he worked in the burbs, the suburbs.
Well, I mean, either way, I had to figure out how to do everything different.
Yeah, West Virginia, remote location, mountains, nothing but deer, woods, to
Okay.
the suburbs of Cleveland.
Okay.
It's definitely different. I visited his hometown, and I will say that it is because I grew outside. I grew up outside of Cleveland, so I will say it is very different, very very different. So the things that you had to go through to adapt from mountain life to city life is just crazy to me.
Mm. What does she mean by mountain life?
Living on the
Are you gonna?
mountain.
Are you gonna?
Wait, what do you guys call that thing when you? It's not a cul-de-sac. What's that thing called when you go up
A
the
holler.
mountain? A holler.
A holler.
The
A
more you
holler.
know, it's a holler.
It's a holler.
Describe a holler.
Well, basically, a holler is just a. I don't even want to say paved road, but it's a road that's it's a road that's in a valley. It's just like if you two mountains converge and then in the middle there's a road and there's houses. That's a holler. I didn't know what a cul-de-sac was until I was about 22.
What did I call it? A cul-de-sac?
Cul-
Is it called cul-de-sac? And see, I don't know. I called it cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Same difference though, but he didn't know what a cul-de-sac was. It's basically just a road, circle, and then you come back out the same road.
Right. So I didn't know what a cul-de-sac was, and everybody made fun of me because I didn't know what a cul-de-sac was. But I guess we're coming to the end of this here, so we're just gonna give an ending message here for everybody. So don't forget, next Saturday, the first podcast guest episode will be out at 6 p.m. next Saturday. It's going to be huge, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I did the best that I could. I'm not a professional at this, but I'm working on it. But after that, we have guests that are lined up, and also I'm trying to get on some podcasts as well. If you guys know how hard that is, it's very hard being smaller. We're a smaller channel, smaller. We pull little views, so it's hard to get on because I can't promote them, right? But we're working on getting on there, and this thing is gonna go. Eventually, it's gonna go because here's what I'll tell you: I've tried social media. I would say one other time. Yeah, I was a Camping World guy. But one other time I went for social media and it didn't work for me. I just felt like I wasn't doing what I wanted to do and I was kind of just making stuff up at that point. But this is stuff that I know. I know this. I know this game. I know how this works. I know the intricate details to this apart from some opinions on me at this moment. I actually do know how to manage people. I know the psychology of people, and that's what this channel is about, is not proving who I am or what I know, but showing you through all the mistakes that I've made along the way that you can change the way that you lead people. And if you're in a corporation right now that doesn't prioritize the people first, you need to try to change that immediately. Because no matter the process, I don't care if you sit with the professionals, every bit of professional you could find and operational excellence, you name it. The process is only as good as the people you have to execute it. That's the fact. So get with the fact and understand that that's what this channel is about. And anybody that's been on here today, I appreciate you. And you mean a lot to me because you're here early. You're here early. You're involved early. And it means a lot to me. And if you guys have anything for me, if you have my number, text me, Instagram, hit me up, DM me. I would love to have you on if you worked for me in the past. And we could talk about what I did wrong, what I did right. And, my ending message is I appreciate everybody that's watching.
My ending message is just saying thank you to everybody that's been here for the whole hour, for anybody that's jumped on even for a couple of minutes, for the people who have watched this after it has already ended and been posted. Just thank you for supporting Blake and for just hanging out with us for an hour, just chit-chatting. And if you have any requests for stuff that you want us to talk about the next time that we go live, just text Blake, drop it in the chat below. We'd love to have some ideas. If not, that's okay too. Join us next time. We're always going to have some hot, juicy stuff to talk about, controversial opinions, all that stuff. That's us. So, thank you again. And for you, for the last ending message.
Last one.
The
last one. Saturday, 6 p.m. Next Saturday, 6 p.m. Check the episode out. It's really good. We bring up a lot of good stuff. If you support the channel and you're not subscribed to the channel, you should subscribe to the channel. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, you should still subscribe to the channel and tell me how much you don't agree with what I'm saying. I appreciate that as well. And if you have worked for me in the past, I'll say this again. Hit me up immediately and let me know you want to be a part of this, because this is going to grow. It's not going to not work. I want everybody to understand I'm not doing this for it not to work. It's going to work. So I want everybody to understand, get in early while we're moving, folks. And I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. This is it. We're done. I appreciate you guys being on here. Thank you so much. And I hope that the rest of the night for you guys is great. Thank you.